Good evening, I'm Linord Moudou. This is Africa 54. Vincent Makore is off today. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is meeting with European leaders in Brussels. A U.S. news report says 2 Americans were among the victims of Tuesday's terror attacks at the Belgian capital that left more than 30 people dead. An unnamed U.S. official said no names are being released as officials are still working to notify the families. In a joint appearance with Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel, Kerry said the U.S. is grieving with the people of Belgium for the loved ones who were lost in the attacks, including Americans.
The United States stands firmly behind Belgium and with the nations of Europe in the face of this tragedy. We join you in thanking the very brave first responders who rushed to the scene on a moment's notice in order to care for the wounded and to save lives. And we will continue to provide any assistance necessary in investigating these heinous acts of terrorism and bringing those responsible to justice.
Kerry noted that Islamic State militants had taken responsibility for the attacks and said there is not a government on earth that supports the group. He said a coalition of more than 60 nations will not rest until the group is eliminated from the face of the earth. While in Brussels, Kerry also met with European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker and will lay a wreath at the airport in tribute to the victims. Belgian authorities continue to search for clues to how the attacks happened, even amid heightened security and an investigation of the Brussels-based militants that attacked Paris in November. U.S. officials have told reporters that the brothers who carried out Tuesday's attacks, Ibrahim and Khalid El-Brakawi, were on the terrorism watch list in the United States. Joining us live via Skype from Brussels for more is reporter Dave Keating. Dave, tell us what is happening. There was a major operation earlier today where there were some explosions and gunfire. Tell us more.
Yes, there have been raids across the city. The most dramatic one happening in Skype, where I am right now. There were 2 explosions heard and then an exchange of gunfire, and a suspect was neutralized. We're not sure if he was killed or taken into custody. That was at a tram station just down the street. There were also arrests in the Brussels neighborhoods of Forêt and Saint-Gilles. At the same time, there have been arrests in France and also in Germany. The suspect seems to be probably connected to the Brussels attacks in France. That was in the town of Argenteuil. But the suspect in Germany that's been taken into custody, it's not sure what his connection to Brussels is. He apparently had visited the city, but on some false documents, but it's not sure whether he was involved.
So obviously the investigation is going beyond Belgium. Do we know any specifics in terms of what countries that they are investigating in, or who they are looking for?
It seems just France and Germany for the moment. The mayor of Skype has actually said that the raid here is somehow connected to the Paris raid. So it's not clear right now if the Paris arrest was about a new attack, maybe even not affiliated with the attacks that took place earlier this week. So it may be that they're using this opportunity to close in on some other suspects that they've been watching for some time.
Can you describe to us the state of the city? Is there police everywhere? Are people staying in their homes? What is happening there?
Well, interestingly, it is not as severe in the city as it was after the Paris attacks. So the country has decided to lower the alert level from 4 to 3, and that's kind of the normal level here in Brussels now. After the Paris attacks, the city was on lockdown for almost a week, where people couldn't leave their apartments, the metro wasn't running. They've chosen not to do that this time. Life has pretty much gotten back to normal here. Public transportation is running again, not the metro completely, but buses and trams. So it's different than what happened in November. But of course, still it's very tense, and there are soldiers and police all over the city.
And quickly, what are people telling you in terms of how safe they feel?
People are obviously very rattled. Again, there's been a heightened terror alert in this city for some time, so people were expecting an attack, but obviously this has left people here pretty shaken up.
Okay, Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. And that was Dave Keating reporting live via Skype from Brussels.